They said the Fever were cooked, done, dusted, already prepping better luck next year tweets. But on a humid Tuesday night in Indy, the Washington Mystics discovered that a team you bully can claw back sharper than ever. What went down in that 85-76 stunner didn't just snap a losing streak. It detonated a brand new identity, forged without Caitlin Clark on the floor. Stick around, because the fourth quarter twist may be the most satisfying revenge story you'll hear all season. Remember preseason? Washington's rookie Kiki Iriafen hip-checked Sophie Cunningham hard enough to flood timelines with slow-motion replays. The Mystics laughed it off. Fever fans fumed. Then May 28th rolled around, and Washington strutted into Indy like big sisters on the driveway hoop, smacking the Fever 83-77 while jawing the whole way. Headlines used words like embarrassed and overmatched. Indiana looked like sparring partners, not contenders. That disrespect simmered for 6 long days. But there's a rule in hoops. If you throw the first punch, you'd better land the last one. And Washington had no idea the next swing was already cocked. 2 nights before the humiliation, disaster struck. Caitlin Clark felt her left quad pop against the Liberty, hobbled off, and the training staff announced she'd miss at least 2 weeks. The Fever lost that game, then Washington, then Connecticut, 3 straight L's with a -13 average margin. Hashtag Fire Stephanie White trended. National radio wondered if Indy should shut Clark down early. Inside the locker room, the vibe was grim. Veterans whispered about wasted seasons. Rookies wondered if they'd still have minutes when Clark healed. So, when the schedule served up the Mystics again on June 3rd, this time an official Commissioner's Cup opener, most outsiders penciled in another easy Washington win. That prediction aged about 5 minutes. Gainbridge Fieldhouse crackled pregame, half hope, half dread. Sportsbooks listed Indiana a 6-point home dog. The Mystics shot around with that same shrugging confidence. They'd eaten here before. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell laced up in silence. "Nothing to lose," she muttered to a teammate. Tip-off, first possession. Indiana swings the ball, Mitchell curls baseline, and cans a 3 that drops like a starter pistol. Crowd erupts. The revenge run has begun. Mitchell smelled blood. Washington shaded traps her way, so she dribbled once, rose fast, and splashed another triple. By halftime, she'd scored 12 and dished 2 sneaky assists. But her masterpiece arrived late. 1:28 left, Mystics within 3. She jab-stepped, stormed the lane, absorbed contact, finished off glass plus the foul, and won. Arena quake. Final line, 24 points on 7 for 14, 4 for 7 deep, 3 dimes, 0 panic. Mitchell's secret? She quit hunting highlight numbers and started hunting Washington's pride. Driving when they expected jumper, kicking when they collapsed, smiling only after the dagger free throw dropped. But one sniper can't win a war alone, and Q3 was about to explode. 0 points at the break. Lexie Hull stared at the box score, took a breath, and came out breathing fire. Reverse layup, catch and shoot corner 3, elbow jumper off a curl that barely grazed net. She scored 14 of the Fever's 24 in the period, hitting 5 of 6 and scooping 6 rebounds for good measure. Plus/minus, +19, loudest number on the sheet. Hull's burst mattered beyond stats. It yanked attention off Mitchell, forced the Mystics to fan out, and kept Indiana's offense humming at a 50% clip. And just when Washington cut it to 69-67, a brand new name blew the game wide open. Signed on an emergency hardship deal 48 hours earlier, Ari McDonald spent her flight watching playbooks on an iPad. 2 practices later, she checked in early second quarter. Within 8 minutes, she'd drawn 3 offensive fouls, poked away a steal for a solo layup, and threaded 2 laser assists. Final ledger: 7 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, 0 turnovers, 27 relentless minutes. Fever fans coined the McSteals meal meme before the final buzzer. Even Mitchell laughed post-game. "That's a pro. She knew the sets better than we did." Suddenly, the Fever were up 7, the crowd howling, and yet the most important lesson of the night was still forming. Indiana finished with 21 assists on 30 made buckets, 70% sharing for a team once criticized as Clark and Watch. They shot 50.8% despite losing the rebounding battle 33-19. Coach Stephanie White beamed about 0.5-second decisions. Catch, decide, move. That's our heartbeat now. Mitchell learned she can captain. Hull discovered a clutch gear. McDonald proved depth isn't a talking point, it's a weapon. Role players like Temi Fagbenle and Dorka Juhasz filled gaps, setting bone-rattling screens and skipping that one extra pass. For the first time all year, the Fever looked unpredictable in the best sense. And that raises one terrifying question for every scout in the league. Caitlin Clark reevaluation date sits mid-June. Imagine reinserting the league's most magnetic shooter into a system now confident in 5-out motion, rapid paint attacks, and dual ball handlers. Teams can't blitz Clark without leaving Mitchell or Hull loose. They can't sag when Boston posts because McDonald will slice inside. The Fever have morphed from one dimension to Hydra. Opponents will study film of June 3rd and see traps that failed, rotations a step late. And they'll know the star wasn't even active. From bullied to bulletproof in 40 minutes, the Fever erased ridicule, quieted fire, the coach chants, and reminded the Mystics that cockiness comes with receipts. Indy didn't just survive without Caitlin Clark. They sharpened every other blade in the armory. So now the question flips. Who terrifies you more? The superstar returning from rehab, or the roster that learned to win without her? Drop "I've got the Fever" below, hit subscribe, and buckle up, because if this is what Indiana delivers on a Wounded Tuesday night, the rest of the 2025 season could get very, very loud.